Hey guys, welcome back to Fix Life. Today we're changing the PCV valve on a 2.0 liter Skyactiv Mazda engine. And so if your engine has this cover on it, there's a high likelihood that you're dealing with this same thing. Also, if the intake looks like this, then we're probably dealing with the same engine. This happens to be a 2017 Mazda 3, but there's a lot of other vehicles that this will work on. My brother already pulled off the intake boot, unplugged the mass airflow sensor, unplugged this. Honestly, not trying to be mean here, but if you need me to show that part, you probably don't want to attempt this job because it's kind of down in there. So, but yeah, that stuff's really easy. Get that off, and then there's like 5 bolts here. There's one we're gonna have to jack the car up for, and then you got to get the wiring harness out of the way, and the intake comes off. And he's already bought the new PCV valve and the O-rings from the dealer, and they're actually really hard part number to find, so I'll give you the part number and then you can order it online instead of having to go to the dealer like we did. Okay, so this overflow tank needs to come out, and if you look at it from the back side, this wiring harness, let me grab the light, it kind of goes right through the middle of it there. So I'm assuming we're going to have to free that up a little bit. There is a tab right there that goes in, and another one over here on the other side of the coolant hose right there. So we're going to pop those out, and then it should pop up and out of there. Just kind of hold that out of the way. Then I think these tabs probably need a wider screwdriver than this, but it should pop right up. Okay, and that's out. Also, we have the negative side of the battery disconnected. Whoop! It was, and it sprung back into action. But because we're disconnecting a lot of sensors and things, it's good policy to disconnect that. And I do that every time I work on anything electrical. An easy way to pop the harnesses out, take a socket that's about the right size and just put it on there. And then you can pop these right out. Okay. Push on that bottom tab. If I can feel it. There we go. Okay, it's out. Just, man, this thing's cracking all to hell. Pop that filler out of there. So that's this. And then for this connector, you just need to push in on it up top here. And it pops right off. You can see the little tab right here. Just push in on that top part and it pulls off. Well, I guess that'll work too. We're going to take out the 4 bolts holding the throttle body in. And then we're not going to actually disconnect this. I'm just going to put a zip tie through this and kind of pull it up here out of the way a little ways. We can also clean the back side of that. As you can see, that harness right there is zip tied right here. So I'm going to cut that zip tie. I don't know if that's factory or not. Okay, got it. So need to disconnect the connector for this map sensor. Okay. Alright guys, there was also a couple tabs over here that we popped out that went in there and there just to get the wiring out of the way. So now we have the 5 bolts left for the top part of the intake, and then there's one down there which I think we can reach maybe without jacking it up. We'll see. So he's going to go ahead and break them loose. And yeah, this can handle it. It's supposed to work your way from outside in, and then when you torque them, work your way from inside out. So. Okay. Forgot about that middle one. And that's not even the bottom middle one, that's just the middle one. Okay, now we're going to go through, loosen all those, and then we'll attack that bottom one. Okay, he was just saying that there's a longer one on that far right side, so. And that one's loose. You got 4 of the same size and the long one on the far right side. And if you go right to the very center of this and reach your finger down, you'll feel another 10 millimeter under there. And I've got a deep socket with a small extension. Now it's definitely easier to see if you jack the car up, but as long as that takes, this is definitely quicker. So, alright. I feel it. Okay. Oh, okay. I got it broke loose. And I'm just going to do it by hand, I think, because I already have it on there. Okay, I think I got it. I do, got it right there. So that's another long one. Let me make sure it's the same size as this other long one. Yeah, they're identical. And you just want to do a kind of a once over, make sure everything's out, and we still have this hose connected. So if you got a stubborn hose, you can take a pick tool, kind of push it up in there, and try to work it around the outside, and then try to jiggle it off. Man, I have jacked up there. Okay, it's wiggling. Definitely gonna edit all that shit out. Because that looks stupid as hell. Just pull on the foot. Okay, I did 2 things. I broke loose our seal and got that hose off at the same time. So maybe unzoom, and we should be ready to take the intake manifold off. That one kept trying to put back in. You don't want anything to fall into these pieces to fall into the intake rammers. Oh, I got it. Huh. Didn't think it would come off that easy. I would have got you guys a better angle, but I don't want to put it back on and take it off again. Keeps wanting to focus on the outside stuff, but anyway, that's the hose that you need to pop off. This thing right here was clipped into that little slot, so that has to come out before the whole thing will come out. Now, try to pull it out. I gotta... Something else hanging up on it?
Yeah, this.
Is there another one?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Man, there's wires everywhere. You guys can see it right in the middle there. Gotta pop that one off too. Okay guys, if you can see, that was stuck in there, and I just used this to come behind it. As soon as I pushed it on, it popped right out. So that damn harness has 2 places where it's connected, here and there. And now I'm bleeding even more. You will get bloody knuckles on this job. Is that it? He got it. Good job. Alright guys, we're gonna elect to change these. They've been in there since this thing was brand new. They aren't completely flat, but they're definitely a little squished. You can pull on those top tabs and pop them right out. I'll show you the new ones here and we'll compare them. But anyway, you get the idea. But these valves are so dirty. If you can, you should really clean your valves while you have this off, because you won't get a better opportunity. So anyways, we're gonna spend some time. We gotta clean all these off and everything, the sealing surfaces, and maybe clean the valves, and we'll be back. I dumped some Berryman B12 chem tool. That's like the best stuff when it comes to carbon, but you can see it kind of soaking in there. And my dad was using some, that looks a little better, he was using some Q-tips, and I ran home. You can see how coated in carbon these things are. Just terrible. Anyway, I ran home and I have this brush kit from Harbor Freight, so I'm gonna cut the ends off and stick them in a drill and try to get all the chunks of carbon off. And then I brought some hoses, and hopefully we can tape them to the end of that hose and actually get down in there, because if you cover the whole thing with a big hose, you're not going to be able to, with the valve closed, you're not going to get any suction, because it's like a complete closed off chamber. So anyways, we'll be doing that for the next 3 weeks, and I'll be back in a little bit. Had a little boo-boo in there. I had this end in my drill, and this end used to have a bunch of those bristles, and now they're all in there on top of the valve. So for about the last 20 minutes or so, we've been trying to pull the bristles out with a pick tool and then a piece of baling wire, and now a vacuum with some other stuff taped to it. How's it looking?
Oh, all the bristles are still in there.
Are they? Let me see.
Yep. Well,
let me show the camera.
They're not coming out.
Oh, they're coming out. This is a fucking family show. Can't cuss.
They're coming out. Is the blue stuff the bristles?
Yeah. Well, it's not exactly blue, but yeah, they're black. Anyway, yeah, guys, we're still, and we're still on the first valve, so we may not be cleaning all the valves today. We might just do that one, get it real nice, and then put her back together, you know? Alrighty guys, here are the $25 a piece O-rings that go on the intake manifold. And they are, sorry about the noise, part number PE7W-13-111. Made in Mexico. That's how you know it's genuine. So anyways, you should be able to hopefully search that part number online and get it for much cheaper than $25 each, I would hope, or get an equivalent. I believe they're made out of silicone. And let me grab an old one. Okay, here's an old one next to a new one. I mean, they're definitely OEM. Yeah, I can see how that's worth $25 each. No, I can't. Okay, we're gonna pop them in there.
That's off.
It broke?
I don't know. Keep going.
Keep going.
Yeah, it's
okay, it's off. I mean,
I don't know if it's off, but it's loose.
I don't know. What does he say? He says,
oh, I think you just put it back on.
Alright guys, we got it out. What I was trying to think of was, might not be fixed, but it's different. I think that's what what's his name always says. So, anyways, here's the new one. Oh, what I was going to show you. See this O-ring? I don't think the new one came with an O-ring. How crazy would that be? That would just be nuts. If it's like sold separately and they don't even tell you. I'm going to do the shake test on the new one. If you can hear that. And then the old one, not so much. That is so crazy that it doesn't come with the O-ring. I guess we'll put the old one on. So you got to put the old O-ring from the old one onto the new one. Alright guys, we have kind of cleaned them. They do look better. They're not perfect, but kind of just wanted to show you what we're looking at now. That one's way better because we soaked it, but the rest of them we just kind of cleaned them quickly, and they're a lot better than they were, but we need to get it back together. Oh, that one's open. Anyways, now we're going to clean off the surface so that our new one sticks, and we'll put it back together. If you've seen my videos before, you know I never put O-rings in dry. I always use some silicone spray on them. So, okay, you see, you saw me put some silicone on this. I'm going to put it back in. And this is the whole reason we took this thing apart. This is a 2017, so 9 years old, and like everywhere you touch this, it just disintegrates. So we put tape over the intake ports, and we're just going around putting black electrical tape on everything so it doesn't shed more plastic while we're doing our reinstall. Mazda did not use very good stuff on their wire harnesses, that's for damn sure. 9 years isn't that old, really. Yeah, look at this.
Like wire looms.
Yeah, it's almost, I don't know. You need to hold the wiring harness back?
Yeah. And you gotta be careful that you're not correct. You gotta put that hose on something.
Yeah, that PCV hose has to go on. Should be able to, right at the end of my thumb right there. I'm going to put the PCV hose back on that. Oh God.
Looking out of this way.
Oh, there. It had to go down farther. Okay. Ugh. Oh crap. Did it come off the PCV valve? I hope not. We need to check that though. Okay, where did my light go?
Here. And it did come off for PCV.
It did?
Yeah.
Is it easy enough to get back on?
I can't even see it.
Oh, shoot.
There's the end of the PCV valve.
Okay. Maybe if you keep your light on that.
You're right there. Up and
Okay.
you're on there now.
If you guys can see it, got the hose back on the PCV. And it's on the other side, I hope, I think. Okay, so I need to pull the tape now. You guys don't have to do that stuff. We just wanted to keep all the crap out of our intake, out of our cylinders. Probably definitely not a bad idea.
I think you're good over here, but I don't know about your side.
What else?
What?
So that's the longest one? Yeah.
I thought they were all the same length.
Here's the manual. Alright, my dad double checked to make sure the PCV valve was still hooked to its hose, because that would be a Greek tragedy if that came off of there. Alright, the torque spec on this is 156 inch-pounds. Or you could do 156 foot-pounds if you really want to, but you're going to break all the plastic. So I would use the inch-pounds. Clicky, clicky. Okay, I can do that bottom one if you want.
Oh, you don't have to go on it?
Mm-mm. We didn't to pull it out.
Cool.
You can only get like one click at a time, but that's it. Okie doke, they're all torqued. Okay, now we got quite a few electrical connectors and snappy deals to put back in. You gotta put your map sensor connector back. That guy snaps in there. And then if you work your way up a little bit, this feller snaps in right there like that. Okay, and my brother put the map sensor in right there. And then you've got this hose. Let me back up. Alright, we gotta get this hose in. That one's kind of there. Okay, now the throttle body. You got the bolts for it. Alright, while they are putting back the throttle body, I'm going to go ahead and hook this connector back up. And then my dad already put these two in. And I guess this feller can get clicked in there. And that can get clicked in there. And I think that's everything over here. Oh, no, we got this guy here. They're real obvious. All the wiring should be tight, and if it is, you're probably good. So the best torque spec I could find for the throttle body bolts was actually a range of 71 to 97 inch-pounds, so the midpoint of that would be 89 inch-pounds. Anyway, you guys don't have torque stuff. There. I thought it went underneath. I think this feller.
Gotta look with the light and see if the tabs are in the slots.
Yeah, that one is. I usually use wrenches on these, but that would be this feller. We've had this off before, that's how I knew I didn't need a tool for that guy. There. Has it been in
We
lane?
didn't turn it far enough.
Well, it goes. That's exactly where it goes. Alright, and now the overflow tank has to go in behind that wiring harness. That's where it will go. Yep. You go in. Cool. Guys, and don't forget your little clamps here. That one went in by itself. This one clicks in like that. And then the bottom of the coolant tank, you can see it at the end of my finger right there, just goes in that hole. And then you got that guy there. And that guy in there. So that's all good. I think that's everything except for the battery connection. And we're just going to double check everything. Okay, since we've had the battery disconnected and everything, it says the PCM is basically going to start with a blank slate as far as the long-term fuel trims and stuff. So that'll be good actually with the valves being cleaner, because it's gonna learn a different, you know, fuel trim or whatever. So anyway, he's just leaving the ignition on for a minute or so, and then off, and then he's gonna start it up and let it run. It said it might stumble a little bit in the beginning, but we will see. Alright, since this is boring, I'll be back. I guess he's taking her for a test drive. Alright guys, I just heard from my brother. He's been driving around for a while. He does like Uber Eats and all that kind of stuff, so. But he said the idle was high for like 15 minutes or so, and then he said after that it kind of normalized, and it's been running good, so I guess that PCV kind of helped out. Alright guys, I appreciate you watching the video, and like I always say, if it's got parts, you can probably fix it. So, see you soon in another one. Take care. Thanks again.